Hello and welcome everyone. I am Sergeant First Class Khan with the Special Operations Recruiting Battalion and the Warrant Officer Recruiting Company. I'm joined here today with CW4 Graveley, and he's going to talk to us about the world of 915 echoes. Sir, without further ado, could you tell us a little bit about your experience as a warrant officer in your specialty and how you feel about serving in that particular field?
Well, to serve as a 915 in any capacity is honor and a privilege. It's also very rewarding and demanding. It's something that you can go ahead and understand that you're always going to change from job to job. You can start off with tanks and Bradleys and an ABCT. Your next assignment could be a striker. You can go aviation, you can go light infantry. So it varies. What you have to do is remain flexible, fluid, and on top of your craft at all times.
Great. In the span of a normal duty day, what can a new 915 Alpha be expected to do in a normal duty day, and how do those responsibilities evolve as their rank grows?
So as a brand new 915 Alpha, it's challenging in the sense that warrant officer was an NCO probably 60 to 90 days ago. So they have to make the complete transition from senior non-commissioned officer to a junior warrant officer. No longer does that W01 have chief on top of him telling him or her what to do. They're the ones calling the shots now. They're the one that's the voice of the squadron, the battalion, the company, or whatever unit they're in. They become the voice of reason and the sounding board for the commander. So that would be the biggest challenge and the obstacle to overcome. But what we look at is, in candidates, is that self-starter. So that warrant officer one should be very well prepared to take on his or her endeavors going forward.
Sure. That's great advice. If I was a new applicant, essentially, or a candidate, wanting to seek out a letter of recommendation from you, what kind of attributes are you seeking in this individual, sir?
Personally, what I would do is, the first thing I look for is an NCO who is a hard charger, sound in their craft, technically proficient, trustworthy, and exhibits all the major attributes needed as a solid performance and a leader. So what we look for is sustained excellence over time in the NCO ranks. We want to make sure that this is not a 2 to 3 day process. This is a repertoire. This is a reputation that this soldier has as being a top performer, because that's who we are looking for. We're looking for the elite NCOs, the top performing NCOs, to come over to the warrant officer side and have a greater and bigger impact in their craft.
Great. How would you, as a mentor in your profession, what advice would you give to a new candidate, a new applicant, wanting to seek to prepare themselves for this great responsibility?
Personally, what I would do is, if I observe an NCO with the attributes, fine leadership, hard charging, self-starter, I would approach that individual and just ask a few simple questions in regards to, hey, do you want to make a bigger impact? How do you feel about having a larger voice, assuming a little bit more responsibility, and just having a larger grasp on your technical specialty? If the answer is yes to that, I would definitely further the conversation and introduce them to what it is that I do as a warrant officer, or have them do a little research if they haven't done already, and just do some research to see what it is that they need to do, particularly for their MOS and their prerequisites to go warrant officer.
Yes, sir. Well, Chief Graveley, thank you so much for joining us today. And for our viewers that are considering a career as a 915 Alpha, I'd encourage you to highly pursue that career. And of course, as always, go warrant now.